What are you looking to get out of the coaching session?
So what I'm looking to get out of this is to try and improve my Kiriko a bit
Mm-hmm.
better so I
Mm-hmm.
can try and climb a bit higher.
Okay. Where are you right now?
At the moment, I think I'm at plat 4,
Okay.
and all the last season I was pretty much one-tricking Brig, which got me up to there, and then at the start of this season, I was like, it doesn't feel as well into everything like it did last season. So I thought, well, probably best to try and learn another hero to try and at least make up for that
All
when I
right.
do need to swap off Brig.
What situations have you encountered recently that made you want to, or made you feel that the brig isn't the play or the pick?
Well, I feel like it's more, I guess, the vertical maps
Mm-hmm.
that I struggle to at least keep the healing up as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the Inspire did get changed down by at least a second. It sometimes feels like it's struggling there as well as probably there's a lot of hazards
Mm-hmm.
that I've been coming across, and
Mm-hmm.
it's still one thing I've got to try and work out how I'm going to play around hazard.
So are you
But
still playing brig apart from when playing on high ground maps and against hazard, or did you just give up on brig completely?
at the moment, I've sort of stopped Brig to try and focus on Kiri,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and then depending on the situation, I might swap Brig
Yeah.
like when they're running full dive sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Brig is despite what some people think, Brig is a very deep and difficult hero to play, especially in some tricky situations like you've mentioned, right? Against rush,
Yeah,
against on maps that have high ground. You have to play really well to get value out of that hero. And I do encourage you to try to. Obviously, if you don't enjoy her right now, if it's not enjoyable to play Brig, you should play something
yeah,
else. But if you do want to pick her up again at some point in the future, I encourage you to like limit test those situations and even ask for advice, maybe on our server, about how you play into certain matchups or on certain maps, right? You can always ask
yeah.
questions and get some suggestions. But anyway, when it comes to Kiri, you've said so you don't have that much experience on Kiri, right? Probably around a few weeks.
Yeah, because I think the first time I played Kiri was back in season 9 when I started, and that's back down in
Mm-hmm.
bronze.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right. And do you have any general Kiriko questions that you would like to ask before we get into the VOD?
uh, not off the top of my head.
Okay. So going back to my initial question, uh, are you looking for general advice for Kiriko, like setting the basis for playing Kiriko the most optimal way, or what are we trying to do?
Uh, I guess probably picking up on trying to work around the mistakes I'm making because I like to play Kiriko more as the flanker,
Mm-hmm.
but I know I make quite a bit few mistakes as well as forgetting to even heal my team
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Okay, I mean that is a better start than than most Kirikos that I see. Um, okay, then if we're looking for general advice, we're looking for establishing some goals that we can work on. We can just jump
Yeah.
into the VOD. Do you want to change your code because it's been a couple weeks, I think, since you've submitted your last one?
Uh,
So if you want to look at a more recent code, we can do that.
well, I think I've been working, so I don't think I have a good, more recent code at the
Okay,
moment.
that works for me. I just wanted to ask in case you have a more recent game stuck in your head. I noticed I couldn't. I mean, it just happened that I noticed that you left Spilo review. What experience do you have with previous coaches, with other coaches?
Uh,
How much coaching have you gotten?
so originally I tried, I think it was the RUA when I was one tricking Tracer, which it got to the point where I stopped having fun with Tracer because of how like awkward's always uptime, uptime,
Mm-hmm.
uptime.
Mm-hmm.
Then you and then I found I wasn't having the time to set up with Tracer, do like the flanks,
Mm-hmm.
and then it. took me a bit to try and get it back, and then I gave up on
Mhm.
that and went back to support, which I originally started with, which I think I only did that for, I reckon, a month, maybe 2. Oh, no, it would have been 2 months because the season's about 2 months
Mhm.
with the RUA, and then I seen a few Spilo videos, so then I was working on my brig, and then eventually I seen him about coaching to do with brig because I was having a bit of trouble getting out of, I think it was mid gold with brig
Mhm.
because I was doing a lot of floating about
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
back line instead of trying to push up and control some space.
Yeah. Before I ask any other questions, I wanted to ask you how much time you have because I can spend like a bit more than 1 hour, but I don't want to be disrespectful of your time. You know,
Yeah,
how
I
much time can you spend?
think. Oh, how much time I can spend on
Yeah. Yeah.
this? Uh, as much as need
Okay.
be,
Okay.
if that's all right with you.
Yeah. My last question is: what is one thing that stood out to you and you appreciated with Spilo's coaching and Awkward's coaching?
So with awkwards, because I was mainly going, all right, well, I'll try Tracer to try and get my game sense up a bit to
Mm-hmm.
try and hopefully improve other areas of my gameplay. So I'd seen awkward and I was like, oh, it seems like it works for these people. So I thought I'd give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
And I reckon after the 2 months, I worked out it probably wasn't for me personally.
Okay.
And then with Spylos, I did like the way he approached it. And from what I could understand back then, was it was more advice to help you more consistently play good with that hero.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, thank you for the answers. So those were just some
Yeah.
personal curiosities of mine. We can get back to the VOD right now.
Yeah.
If you have no general questions, then let's talk about Kiri a bit, because you said you're in Plat, right? What do you think
Yeah.
Kiri's good at? What do you think Kiri does well? Why would you pick Kiri over other
So
heroes?
Kiri for me, I believe is good in taking off angles or split away from your team
Okay,
to be able
why?
to create pressure on the enemy team as well as because you've got TP to get
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
As long as you don't TP on the tank,
Mm-hmm.
we generally die.
Mm-hmm. So is it only to off angle? Is Kiri only good at that?
Uh, I guess Kiri is sort of good in sustaining a battle as well as taking away pressure using a Suzu if you time it right.
Yeah, yeah.
So any pressure the enemy team puts out.
You can also TP to anybody that needs your help, right? If you're playing
Yeah,
Kiri, the beauty of Kiri is that she's one of the best heroes to help flankers in the game, right? Brig does a great
yeah,
job because as Brig, you can be active in the front line or in the back line, peeling or getting brawl value, and also support your DPS on angles with your packs, right? And some other
yeah,
heroes can also help with that, but Kiri's like Lucio functions in a similar way, but Kiri's the only one that can instantly turn the fate of a 1v1 around, right? You see your Tracer fighting the enemy Tracer on the flank, you TP to her, headshot the Tracer, you win the entire map, right? You win, or you at least you win this
yeah,
entire flank. Kiri is unique in that sense. And I always tell people this, you are correct in saying that with any support hero, you should play angles and the depth of or the range of the angle depends on the hero that you're playing. But if there is an opportunity to help one of your DPS stay on the angle or win an angle, that's even more valuable than you holding your own angle. Because if you're doubling up with that person, it's harder for the enemy to force you out because you have support, you have
yeah,
help, right? You have a source of damage, an additional source of damage with you,
yeah,
and he can also like be more aggressive and do more stuff on his own angle and like shoot the enemies in the side better. Essentially, you're just allowing him to do more, and he can also do stuff from that angle. So if you ever have the
yeah,
opportunity, as I'm saying this with Kiriko in specific because it's very easy to do this with Kiri because of TP. If you
yeah,
ever see somebody that's trying to play the game, right, they're trying to do a proactive play, you should almost always help them, right? A lot of the time in
yeah.
ranked, there are silly people that do silly stuff, and when you help the silly person do silly stuff, it ends up working out, and it's really funny. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So we're looking for we're looking for you to set up on a slight angle that is good for you. That's generally gonna be some form of high ground because you have wall climb, right? And that is like
Yeah.
somewhere in the mid range. It depends on what the enemies have, but it's somewhere in the mid range. The closer you are, it's a fine balance. The closer you are, the easier it is to land your kunais. But the closer you are, the easier it is to be forced out as well because of your 250 HP
Yeah.
and lack of two shot, right? So you're looking to find a sweet spot between being close enough to land your kunais and having or having a close way to disengage, right? That could be dropping off high ground, that could be ducking around the corner, TPing out, whatever, right? Whenever you take an angle,
Yeah.
before you take the angle, you should know how you will disengage from that angle. That can be either walking away or having somebody in the back of your head that you're going to TP to, right? So if you're taking the angle, you should check behind. Is there anybody that I can TP to, or is there an easy way to get out of the sticky situation if you're getting too much heat, right? If the people are paying too
Yeah.
much attention to you. Do you have any questions so far?
No, I do not.
Also, what is worth mentioning is that when you're playing with other support that output a lot of healing, you can be more independent and you can look for flanks more than if you're playing with like an Ilari or a Zen or a Mercy. Because
Yeah.
generally, just support heroes that output a lot of healing don't really need your healing to keep the team alive, right? You're better off helping people that your Baptiste or Ana or uh, whatever other hero like Life Weaver cannot help, right? Heroes that are playing far away or
Yeah.
on the flanks and so on. Like if we are looking at at your comp and at the enemy comp, let's start with your comp. What do you think your job is with this comp?
So my job, I'd say, is to mainly heal and, if possible, throw kunai in between each 10 of Fuda,
Mm-hmm.
as well as try and absorb any of the additional pressure that the enemy team's trying to throw, like
That is a very general
Discord.
answer. That's a very general. Let's think about
Yeah.
how our team wants to play, right? What does this guy want to
Yeah.
do?
He wants to get into the back line.
He wants to dive, right? He wants to play an angle and
Yeah.
dive the backline, right? Can you help him doing that?
Yeah.
Can you help him to do that?
Yeah, I
Yes, you can.
can. Yeah.
What does this guy want to do?
I I'd take a guess with the Rhine, he'd probably want to sit back at range and
He kind of wants.
shoot into the,
He
yeah,
kind of
take
want
his
to.
angle.
Yeah, he kind of wants to do the same thing, but from range, right? So
Yeah.
you would TP with on this guy and help him kill the backline, or you could TP to this guy if he's being pushed on his angle, shooting backline, right? It's similar
Yeah.
to the Zen and Soldier function in similar ways. They usually play longer angles, and if they get pushed or dove or whatever, it's your job to like, if possible, go and help them. And Ryan
Yeah.
is just really an old battery. There's not much to say here. It's just an old battery for you. If you have any sort of speed, then it becomes a bit more nuanced because you can uh, push, like the Rhine has more opportunity to push and so on. You don't really directly help Rhine as a Kiri, um, other
Yeah.
than just topping him off and making sure that his armor doesn't break. I'm sure you notice since the armor change, armor is really really important for a tank to stay healthy and not instantly die. Right? Whenever tank loses
Yeah.
armor, you do not heal. You cannot heal. You cannot out heal the damage that they take. So it's important that you try. I mean, if this guy is like something that I tell all support players and especially Curie players because you always can help somebody. If somebody doesn't let you help them, you shouldn't help them, right? You shouldn't chase your teammates around. If it makes sense for you to help them and 2v1 somebody on the angle, then do it, right? But if this run is feeding, charging in the backline, it's not your job to save him. It's just a lost cause, you know? But if he's playing the game
Yeah.
and you can help him keep this to stay alive and to be effective in the fight, then it's good to do so. Now, looking at the enemy team,
Yeah.
what are you scared of here? I'm more so
I'd
interested in
probably
what kind
say
of angle you would like to play against these people, like these people in specific.
I'd probably be more afraid of the soldier
Yeah,
and probably trying to avoid the hazard
yeah. I mean,
because
all
he
these
does have that
people
block.
do a lot of poke to you, right? If you just stand main, all
Yeah.
these people shoot you in the head and you die, right? So it's good
Yeah.
to flank these people. Really,
Yeah.
you're not playing into flankers. You're playing into poke heroes. When you're playing into flankers, you want to keep like a medium distance. Again, it's a balance between like, would you want to fight a Genji at this range or at this range. Probably the second one, right? Because you're gonna hit more shots than he
Yeah.
does, and you're gonna be forced out later or slower. Um, as opposed to a Sojourn, you would like to take a close 1v1 with a Sojourn because I mean, she does more damage at range than you do essentially,
Yeah,
or
and
you're scarier up
Rail
close.
doesn't exactly tickle anymore.
What's up?
Rail doesn't tickle anymore either, because it's,
Yeah,
I think, back at its one shot.
yeah, yeah. So I think this initial rollout is fine. Why are you scared here? What is going through your head here? I know this is an old
It's,
game, but
yeah,
right now with the information that you have,
think,
right?
yeah, because I think I only counted 3 of them, and I was like, well, maybe they probably would come behind me, but I can't remember if I seen Zen or whether there was a song, because I'm trying to also make sure that they don't, because I don't know what they're coming out on,
Mm-hmm.
whether it could be a Sombra as well coming out behind.
I agree that you should play it
I
slow right
guess,
now because 15 seconds haven't passed yet. I don't think.
yeah,
I mean, about now you should be able to press tab and see what they're running, right? I agree that whenever you're taking your
yeah,
first angle, you should be a bit more conservative until you know exactly what they have and where they are, right? But with the information that you have right now, I think it's very reasonable. Just play this corner and shoot the Sojourn, right? And
yeah,
then heal your Rhine in between. You don't need to be scared of the Sojourn right now because she doesn't have rail
yeah,
and she's positioned very aggressively, right? When we talk about target priority, um, we generally talk about um, what is killable, what is most dangerous to you, and what is convenient to go for. So
yeah,
if you look at the enemy team, right, what is killable? Well, pretty much everybody apart from this guy that has lots of HP and this guy that has lots of HP, right? What is most dangerous? This guy and this guy and this guy, right? But you don't really interact with this person; you just run away from them. These two people are the most dangerous people to in specific, right? Because if they shoot you in the head, you
yeah,
die. So if you have the chance to shoot them first, it's good, right? And then when we talk about convenience, the Sojourn is right there, right? So if we have the choice between
yeah,
shooting the Hazard and shooting the Sojourn, we shoot the Sojourn because she has less HP, because she's more dangerous to you in specific. Also, the Hazard used his cooldowns, and because she's right there. And she has used her slide, right? She cannot
yeah,
run away. So you're very self-sufficient here. You shouldn't be scared of taking really any 1v1, as long as you have your cooldowns and a disengage route. I don't think you need to go anywhere right now. You should just stay here and shoot, right? That's okay. Idea is good.
and I was like,
I mean, idea is good, right? But you're just too passive on this angle. There's nothing to be scared of. You're not gonna get pushed by anybody. The Sojourn use her slide and she doesn't have rail, so it's your time to shoot the Sojourn in the head. You know. Because you don't shoot the Soj, she farms rail. Your Ryan gets discorded and he gets shot from multiple angles and he dies, right?
yeah,
It's not just your fault. It's also your soldier is playing a really bad angle instead of wrapping around. And the Genji, I don't even know where the Genji is. Oh, his Genji is trying to do stuff, right? But um, you can kill the soldier, or at least you can headshot her and force her to drop. Uh, once you force her to drop, we're like free to walk on point essentially.
yeah. And then I stayed there. I know it was the orbs from Zen.
I think the disengage is okay. And I think the fact that you died there to the Zen orb is a bit unlucky. Push up on left. We're working with your team. At this point, you could do. So you notice how you're getting poked by spam that is thrown at your Rhine, right? At this point, what you could do
Yeah,
is you could walk up here and you could wall climb and you could shoot a couple shots, drop down, wall climb again, shoot a couple of shots, maybe go on this side, right? Maybe you notice Sojourn and you wall climb on this side, and this is a good one if you want for you to take.
but then the problem is like sit there and go back to Mega and
I think this is. I mean, you're just not confident in taking your own angles. You're not gonna get one shot unless you get discorded, really. So as long as you either flank doesn't and kill him, or you just stay out of his LOS, really, and you duel whoever contests your angle, right? You go here and you shoot, strafe, shoot. If you get shot for 60 HP, then you TP out, right? But you need
Yeah,
your hero. Your hero used to be the most annoying hero to deal with on flanks, and you're still really good at holding flanks. Because you can always get out for free. There is no risk for you involved as long as you have somebody to TP to. So you should abuse that fact, and you should take as many chances for this kind of proactive play, right? As long as your team is doing something, right? Your Ryan is getting shot, so this is okay to do right now. You should take as many chances for proactive value because that's how you improve, right? That's how you get more confident in
yeah,
hitting your shots, and that's how you learn what angles are good for you and what angles are not good for you, and when to engage and so on, right?
yeah.
You're really just a bit scared right now. You're playing like you're about to get dove by a ball or something. I think this is fine. Save the Zen. It's all good. There was nothing to shoot really anyway. Dropping around is fine. You could keep going if you wanted to. You could heal your Rhine and then you could keep going. And you could go here. It's like this is free, right? You shoot the Mei. If they
Yeah.
turn to you, just TP back to your Rhine. Or to your Genji. That is here. We're all stacked together, so it's really hard to do anything in this choke because they have all the angles on the choke, right? They have
Yeah.
they have this and this and this and the hazard on the corner, and we're all just trying to funnel through. Generally, the answer to breaking a choke is uh, going on a flank and creating pressure on one of the sides to force them away so that your team has less people shooting them, really. Like essentially, right?
Yeah.
Good shots. Here, at this point, you could look to go high ground. This is once again splitting your pressure, right? Because you're here shooting and you can always throw for safety. And your damage is coming from a slightly different angle than your team's, right? You need to also be careful. I know that you're focusing on your aim right now, but you need to be careful walking forward like this. Like you should pretty much always be hugging a corner if possible.
Yeah.
Just a small detail. We're stabilizing now. This is fine. If this way was better, you would have nowhere to go right now. You would have to use Suzu because you're stacked on your team, right? Again,
Yeah.
as opposed to just being up here. There's no reason not to be up here. High grounds are always your friend because high ground gives you cover. High ground allows you to get closer to people without getting shot and like dropping on them if you see the opportunity, or just poking from high if you think that it's more reasonable, right? It's more
Yeah.
safety and better angle. Yep. Chase her down if you want to. Nice. It's a good stagger for you. Okay, now you have Fox. How do you want to use Fox?
Uh, I guess to deny the enemy team space. So I'd say
Deny the
ideally
space in what
maybe
way?
so by sort of making it so either they have to fight their push through it
Mm.
or
Or they have to back away,
move
right?
away,
Yeah.
like kite it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So if you see the enemy team committing cooldowns and going in and you
Yeah.
Fox on point, they don't want to push this, right? They want
Yeah.
to excuse me. I need to get a drink a bit of water.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing them commit cooldowns and pushing in and you Fox on point, you create a huge advantage for your team. ults are ults are a resource, really. Resource can be numbers advantage, it can be cooldown advantage, and it can be ult advantage. It can also be like positional advantage and stuff like that, but we don't that's not
Yeah.
as relevant for the argument. The point I'm trying to make is that you can use this to sort of turn the fight in your favor once the enemy team has committed to like a fair fight, you know? You just turn the balance in your favor.
Yeah.
Um you can use it much like a BAP window or like a rally. You can just use it to get an advantage in the fight. You can use it to clear space, like to push space. If you want to, for example, if you want to take point, you could Fox main, right? Fox this way. If you
Yeah.
want to force them away, you could Fox this way, and we just push into them with Fox. The trigger to use Fox is whenever any sort of commitment cooldown is being used. So like if we talk commitment, if we talk the enemy team committing to a push, what do you think would be a sign of that?
Um, maybe speed ring.
Yep.
Hazard's lunge.
Yep. Good.
Sojourn sliding
Yep.
in. May I don't think has
Sure. Wall.
maybe walling
War.
someone off.
War or
Yeah,
block. If she uses block, she's
yeah,
vulnerable, right? Or any sort of ult.
yeah,
Remember, ult is a really important resource that usually turns fights or can turn fights. So whenever the enemy team is using an ult, that can be a trigger for you to use your own ult, right? If they're using Gray
yeah,
or Blizzard and the Blizzard doesn't land, or even Overclock, it's fine to use Fox, right?
yeah,
Maybe I wouldn't necessarily use it into Trank because you're probably not gonna kill anything, but other than that, it's like Fox is a really versatile ultimate. You can use it in pretty much any fight in an
yeah.
advantage. Okay, so right now, what are you thinking? What angle should you be on? Set up on? Once you TP here,
Uh,
so we TP here, right? We get info. We hear
yeah.
Zenith's right side. We see a ping on Sojourn left side. We see a Hazard left side. Where do you think you should go?
Uh, I'd say to the right. So maybe dropping down at the back and going for the soldier and Juno.
Like this way?
Yeah,
You could. You could. You could even climb up here and be annoying on this corner. The enemy team
just to
is,
try and
yeah.
slow down that. Well, at
Mm-hmm.
least make them use cooldowns to get
Mm-hmm.
in to start the fight.
Sure. I think you can also be here again. I think this is not bad for you once they walk up, right? Because remember, the fight is. I mean, where will the fight happen?
Uh, Probably right about where the hazard is.
About
Well,
here, right?
maybe a bit forward. Yeah,
Around this area in specific. So
yeah,
given this, you should always plan your setups or your positioning based on where the fight will happen. And once the fight happens, you kind of go with the flow, and the rotations that you take mid fight are just based on what opportunities present itself. So if you talk setup, you always think about where the fight will happen. So given that the fight happens here, where would you like to be? You said here, which is not bad. I think
yeah,
if you go this way during the fight, you can find picks on backline. I think this is again a decent position for when the fight is happening here, because you just have very good vision of what is happening, and you have a decent angle to spam backline, right?
yeah,
So I think these are your two main options. If even this is good, maybe safer than dropping, because or like playing on low ground, because you can always drop back to your team if you're in trouble.
yeah.
Regardless, your Genji feeds. Nice Suzu. I mean, good try. Okay, we can look for Fox here.
Uh,
What do you think
oh
of
no,
this?
yeah, they finished Trank.
Hmm?
I feel like. Oh no, because I did it. Oh no, it was at the end of their
It is
Trank.
almost
Oh
at the end
no,
of
that was
Trank. Like the
yeah.
timing is not the problem. What's the problem here? Why does it not feel good?
Because they're too far forward.
Who's too far forward?
Like they, uh, like their team got to push in without expending any abilities, and
And why did that
they ended up
happen?
having
Why could they just walk in?
because nobody was controlling the space that they wanted to walk in
For one,
on,
because of ults. Like
or other than
realistically,
the Rhine. Yeah,
yeah. For realistically, also because of ults. Uh, but also yeah, because nobody's controlling the space, right? You being up here and dinging the
yeah,
sojourn would be controlling space.
yeah,
So if you wanted to, you could Fox main, and then you could take your own angle. If the sojourn looks at you, you drop, and you repeat from this angle when she's not paying attention. This is good. This feels bad because there's a hazard in your backline and you're being shot in the back by a sojourn, right? So you're in the middle of everybody.
yeah,
So you need to be on the edge. You need to find an angle that is on the edge. It can be here, it can be here, it can be back here. I don't really mind it as long as you can like help your Rhine potentially, because again, you're the one that's gonna help your Rhine. I don't mind it. I just don't want you to be in the middle. It's never good to be in the middle.
No, especially with orbital there, 'cause it could have easily
Because you're
ended
squishy.
badly.
It's bad.
Yeah,
It's bad in general, but it's even worse for you because you're squishy. So it doesn't take a lot for you to instantly die. Good try. Good shot. Okay, let me watch this again. It's kind of the same thing. I would like you to be on high here, but this is also fine. Your soldier dies to the straight flank. I think the only thing that you could have done differently here is just being set up for something like this to prevent your team from being walked on so easily. That's it. Pretty much it.
yeah.
If it's 9, no, you lose the point.
Yeah, I don't know why the Rhine did that. Blizzard.
Did you hit the Suzu?
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
because he's pretty much.
I'm surprised he got frozen. I thought that if you jump out of the mail for a couple of seconds, you don't get frozen.
It feels like it doesn't, but maybe he's just in LOS
Maybe just miss the
long
timing.
enough.
You should still be able to win this by taking the right angles. Where would you like to be now?
So I think at first I was thinking the left
Mm.
side. I can't remember if I do take that. But then there's also the right side little high ground as well,
Which one do
near
you think is
point.
better?
I'd probably say I'd go the right side, this side,
Why?
because you've got the little bit of wall to use as cover.
But you also have this wall to use as cover and this wall to use as cover here, and you can keep deepening if you
Yeah,
want to on this side. I think this side is better because you have the option to go to actually flank backline if you want to. You don't have to because once again you have to carry
yeah.
Ryan a bit in this comp, but if you want to, you can get to here. Whereas on this side, it's way riskier because you have to cross through the open. But I think this is the time
True.
because nothing is happening. Did you want to ask something?
No.
Okay. Uh, this is where you're one up if you were following the kill feed, right? So you have an advantage,
Yeah,
and there's nothing happening right now. This is a time where you need to set up on the flank because if you do this in mid fight, your team is going to die because you will not be there to help them, right?
yeah,
You set up on these flanks. Either I mean, most of 90% of the time you set up on the flanks during before the fight, or as enemies or your team is
yeah,
regrouping, either one. And sometimes you get the chance to set up on a short angle during the fight, like um, as we're like healing up and getting our cooldowns back and stuff like that. You can sometimes sneak in a rotation on a short angle like this, or on a short flank.
yeah.
I think you could have done the same thing from here and not get Suzu first. Or at least force a hazard. You would make the hazard jump on you, which would free up main for your team.
Yeah,
It's the second time I see this habit of yours to just walk forward. You're probably focusing on your shots, right? You're jumping, you're walking forward,
yeah,
you're walking in the open. This should get you killed. This will get you
yeah,
killed in diamond. Especially if you get
yeah. I
discarded, right?
shouldn't have.
Because you're jumping in front of
Yeah,
main. You're not even strafing, right? So
yeah.
the aggression is good. It just needs to come from here. Okay, we try right. I like the fact that you're trying. You're looking for options for stuff that you can do. You need to Suzu this. Whenever I told you before that whenever he loses armor, you can no longer heal him through the damage.
Yeah,
So if you notice your Rhine dropped like purple, not purple, sorry, orange HP through the wall, now you should Suzu so he gets his armor back.
I don't have Suzu.
Oh right, I'm stupid. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, because I have
You,
Boss.
you used it on yourself here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't think you noticed the Soj on the right side, but if you did, that would be the
no,
best
I
target.
don't.
You end up doing the
'Cause
same
I
thing,
didn't
right?
know
You start on the angle and then you group up with your team again. I want you to stay on the angle. Keep deepening this way. If the Sojourn was on here, this would
Yeah.
be a good angle for you. Just spam the Mei, keep going, spam the Mei, shoot the Zen, climb up here, spam the Mei, shoot the Zen. You have this habit of going back to main. You don't. It is true that you heal quicker when you're closer to the target that you're trying to heal. So in
Yeah.
some instances, you it is good to be close to the person that you're trying to pocket, but you just don't want to.
Yeah.
You just don't want the heat. You just don't want to be in the middle of everything, right? So just stay on the edge.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
let's watch one more fight. Do you have a question?
yeah, because I think
Mm-hmm.
that is a constant problem that I've always been doing,
Mm-hmm.
and I sacrificing my angle to do something else, and
That is not even
when I
valuable,
should
right?
be
What are you
holding it.
doing right now? You're shooting a Mei block. You're still shooting a
Yeah.
Mei block. You're shooting your team, which you could have done from here. And if you were here, another thing is that when you're playing on the edge, it's easier to take in what's happening. Maybe you would notice the soldier being there, and you could climb on her and force her out, right?
Yeah.
Let's watch one more fight, and if you want to, we can go into a game and practice this. Would you be
Yeah,
down to
that'd
do
be
that?
alright. Yeah.
Because now you're left in a really bad position, and where is your disengage, right? Who do you TP to? You don't have anybody to TP to. Maybe if you notice this guy, because you're stacked on your team. This is not how you play here, right? This is kind of how you play BAP. Even if you play BAP, I would still like you to be here and pocket your team from range while shooting. Do you have any fight that you would like to watch in particular in this VOD?
I'm trying to think because we won most the other ones. Trying to.
You lose this point.
I'd say, yeah, we lose that point, but I think which point? I'd say the next point.
This one?
Yeah, 'cause
You
this
end up
one I
winning it.
believe. Yeah, though I think this one does give me a bit of grief because it feels a bit open.
Okay, let's watch this then. So if we look at the point geometry, against their comp specific, they haven't really changed anything. They just swapped the back line. They have Moira a Moira Weaver right now. Moira might You might encounter Moira on the flank, in which case you can duel her if you want to. And the Weaver
Yeah.
it doesn't interact with you. You shoot him if you can. If you have an angle on his paddle, you shoot him. Otherwise, it doesn't really do anything to you. So looking at the map geometry right now, actually let's skip a bit forward to see where the enemy is coming from. Looking at the map geometry right now, where would you like to be?
I guess in the where they're that little skinny hallway area, bit
Here,
to the left. Uh, no, on the left-hand side of the point
like here.
where the sojourn is. Yeah.
You could set up your rat in here, wait for somebody to walk up. Uh, I think your angle is not bad. I think that you are pressuring this area and you're doing so from a safe angle, and you can always LOS it. And if you are in trouble, you can TP
Yeah.
to your Genji. So I think that where you're playing now is actually fine. You could rat in here if you wanted to, but we're running into a safe problem where if your Zarya needs help because we have a Zen, you might have to TP back to her. So I think that your position is actually perfect here. If your team was holding stairs, like if we were playing on blue team right now, um, I'm not sure. Can you climb above this wall as Kiri? I know you can do it as Genji because you have a double jump, but can you climb above it as Kiri?
Might be able to. I think there's some terrains where you climb up and you just slide back
Maybe if
anyway.
you do it on this pillar because it's like the shortest part of the wall, right? If you were playing
Yeah.
on blue team here, and the red team was playing on this side, you could be here, shoot. You could climb up, drop on backline, and TP back to your team, right? Before the fight happens or as the
Yeah.
fight is happening. But I think your position is really good because it allows you to help your team while also pressuring an angle. You could sink in a few more shots here. I get that you got your Suzu Force, but if you jiggle pick this and you time, so you can time your kunai throws so that you only pick for as long as it's needed for the kunai to go this way, if you know what I mean. You can do
Yeah.
this AD strafe and time it so that you throw the kunai when you're peeking the corner, right? And the
Yeah.
animation of you pulling out the other kunai happens when you're in cover. I think that even if your Suzu gets first here, you can, especially as you notice that the Sojourn is shooting your team, you can throw a few shots at her. You don't have to be like, completely passive. But I understand why you're not doing
Yeah.
anything right now. And I don't think that's on you. I don't think that it's on you that your soldier dies to the hazard. Same problem, right? Same habit.
I walked out of
You're
a
walking
good
forward.
position.
I like the fact that you're holding your angle. I like the fact that you're not instantly being out. But just, but don't walk forward. There's no reason to walk forward. So you hear ult, you panic. Probably panic. You see the Moira. Crosshair is not on head level, which is mechanical detail, and you start walking forward. Crosshair is better right now. This is good. Never mind. I mean, I don't know.
I think that was a bit early.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, I think you played it fine. Okay, do you want to go into a game and practice? Practice. What should
Yeah.
we practice? Right. What have we seen so far?
I'd say no. I'm not using high ground as much as I probably should be,
There is something
as well
more
as
general. I mean, where has high ground been
walking
relevant in our
into the
VOD?
team.
Hmm?
Uh, probably the first
No, no.
2 points,
I
maybe.
mean, we were talking about the high ground in the context of what? The
Yeah,
context of angling, right? Your own angle, your own
yeah,
value, your solo angle. You should be more confident taking solo angles, especially if you have something like this available, a safe
yeah,
angle like that, right? So we could go into a game right now, and we could practice you being confident. You could practice confidently taking solo angles or double
yeah,
plus oneing with somebody that is taking an angle, right? I'm gonna actually
yeah.
write that down for you. Kiriko, uh, confidently taking solo angles or plus one with any DPS that is looking for value. Um, Another thing that is worth mentioning is your habit of walking forward. Uh, Try
Yeah,
to hog cover and place crosshair at head level before uh, engaging on someone. I think Suzu has been okay. TP has been as good as it gets with you being in the middle of your team. We've only seen one Fox so far. The rest is like not bad. Do you have any questions?
no, I do not.
Okay, I think I have to close my window now. People are being funny on New Year's Eve. They're singing trumpets and stuff.
It's always like that in New Year's Eve.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything. So we've seen a couple mechanical details. It's mostly been your positioning. So do you want to queue up for a game? And as we wait for you
Yeah,
to get the game, we can watch the rest of the VOD.
yep. Oh, cool. Now saying about 4 minutes.
This sounds good. Just let me know when you get a game and you start screen sharing.
Yep.
Okay, so if you look at this, it's another nasty choke. I would like to see you climb up here. You could climb up.
Yeah,
Hmm?
I think at that time I was thinking not to climb up there because the hazard was still up there, and then I didn't see
That's true, reasonable.
him leap
Still have this
down.
hazard on top. Yeah, Well, he's lunging. Right? Okay, he's lunging on you right now.
Yeah.
Sure, I understand your concern. After a while, you could Fox main because we want to take the space, right? So Fox helps us.
Yeah.
Same habit of walking forward. Otherwise, it's been a decent fight for you. Moira players are criminals.
Yeah.
This is good from you. TP, you could probably TP to somebody deeper here. Were you trying to go in the window frame? What were
I
you looking
was
for here?
So I was looking for more to try and set up so that they walk past, and then I seen the hazard come out there, and
So you were looking to go here, potentially.
tr- yeah, try and
I think this is
get
good.
into their back line a bit.
If we look at
And
somebody
then
that could...
before was trying to.
Yeah, no, I mean, this ends up being good
So,
because the hazard is going on you, right? And you're shooting him
yeah,
in the back while blocking. Only nitpick is that you could probably TP to the soldier or to the Zen because they're further back.
yeah. I think I was trying to TP to the Zen, and it locked onto the Zarya.
Yeah, this is another detail that I can write down. Before we don't have to worry about this right now, but it is something to keep in mind for later. Before taking an angle, always check what player on your team you will TP to in case you get in trouble. Or alternatively, where on which side you will drop if you're playing high ground and so on.
Yeah.
I think you can fight this guy. You have your TP in 2 seconds. I think you can 100% fight him. If you go up there with your Genji, right? I think you kill him.
Yeah.
And your Genji maybe doesn't die. This is good. Your team doesn't need your team doesn't need you on main. We're tanking, so you should keep chasing this guy.
Yeah.
You're not gonna kill the hazard that is being coalescence. It's getting healing from coalescence. Criminal. Okay, they stopped I don't know, which makes it even more appealing for you to flank backline. I like this. Only small nitpick is that you're probably a bit early. Nobody's doing anything yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it works out. I mean, it is value, right? You're getting a lot of attention. You could look to go left here once you TP. Like, once you TP, you don't have to be static and you don't have to stay in the middle of your team. You should look to retake an angle. Especially since you have Suzu, right? You get a lot of attention here. You get 3 cooldowns. You get sleep, you get disruptor shot, and you get leap. So once this happens, and especially because you know they're on right side, you should probably look to retake left with your Genji.
Yeah.
You could fox on main and go left side. What's an angle that you could set up on right now?
The right side of the doorway is probably a bit too
It's too
deep.
stacked. It's right side of doorway. This one? Or this one?
Their choke, like here on the flank.
If your team is holding
Oh,
close, this can actually
just
work. I mean, this can actually work if your team is holding close. If you're holding the choke, right? This can actually work. It's not a bad idea.
yeah,
You could also be up here. Maybe not as good against Ash, right? You could be in this hallway. If Hazard wasn't here, this would be pretty good for you. The enemy team is
yeah,
probably gonna strafe like this, right? Given where your team is, which means that it's probably gonna be pretty easy for you to headshot them.
yeah.
turning to Killer Hazard is fine there because it's the only one that's engaging.
Yeah. Let's see. Just got a game.
Alright.
There.
Okay, let's see the screen share.
I think that's shared the right one. Oh, they've locked Kiri.
Ah,
Uh,
that's sad. Can you maybe ask for Kiri? You've not shared anything in case you're not aware.
Oh, I should have. Try. It says Overwatch. Yeah, stream Overwatch. Should.
You should
It's not.
click on the bottom left.
Oh. Try. Try. Change windows. Screen. Screen 1.
Here we go.
Ah.
Okay. So he didn't want to give you.
He didn't want to give you.
Right?
No, she didn't. Ah. Yeah. But...
Maybe he swaps. That's fine. You can say Brig if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to.
Hmm.
Just gonna get back in the field where.
Okay, so let's look. Yeah. I'm gonna let you focus for a bit.
I don't have.
That's good. Okay, so let's try to. Can you press tab for me real quick? So they're running no speed with the Reaper and Zarya, and you have Genji. Okay, how do you think you should play into this comp?
So ideally, I'd want to be with the Genji, trying to help him.
You could
get the like angle +1 him. I.
Okay, let's push right side. Let's try to clear to wipe them, or left your trace. That's good. Okay, a lot of Brig is anticipating what the enemy team will do. Where do you think the Reaper will want to go?
So.
Probably
Where
top.
would?
Yeah.
Because he probably want to get onto my back line, but then because I've got Kiri, she'll want to be more with, I guess, on the angle with the
You could be here.
Genji.
And you don't have to always be on top of the person that you want to help. You can even hold your own angle. For example, you could sit on the mini top left there, as long as your team was close, right?
Yeah.
And you could just the Reaper would probably go either far left or in the mini room to look for a TP on your backline. So you could be there to be annoying to him, and then bash out if needed.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look for an angle to push in right now. After you peel that guy. That's okay. It's okay. You should.
See you again. Yeah. All right. So Zen's up high ground, I think.
Where does Reaper want to go now?
So he probably wants to go. Well, he's going for a Genji. So he's trying to go for a back. I think.
Good try. That was good. They saved him a trunk.
Yeah, 2 ults for nuns. Pretty. Oh, no, because he used Blade.
That's okay.
Yeah.
This
So
person is
it's not a
stuttering.
bad trade.
It's okay. It's okay. We have rally now. They use call, right?
Oh, yeah. She's up there.
Nice, good job.
Uh,
Your team dies sadly, but it was a good try. It was a
uh,
good try. I don't think the idea was bad.
don't
If
think there was much I could do once the Reaper was there.
if you know they don't have call, you could just stick to rallying on main and looking maybe cancel repros or something.
Yeah. Oh. Uh, uh,
Okay, let's queue another one and try to get Curie here. Kind of hard to like help you with this since we haven't talked about Brig at all.
yeah. And I am
Let's just leave it and queue
Rust.
again. Against what they had, it's a lot about trying to sort of bait yourself, be on an angle, right? You don't necessarily have to be on top of somebody. As for
Yeah.
example, you could play on the high ground windows and bait yourself to be pushed to for the Reaper to push you and just run away, right? Uh, Brig
Yeah.
is Brig is a bit hard against Zarya because I'm getting him.
Zarya just wants to walk on you all the time
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
front line.
So a lot of playing against Zarya is realizing when she's gonna use bubbles to push you and just bashing out, right? Bashing in is
Yeah.
not good unless you actually have a big advantage and you're trying to chase somebody down.
Yeah.
Because if you bash in,
'Cause
you have no way to get out.
you've
That's
got
your only form of mobility.
yeah.
You could go into.
And,
Hmm?
yeah, and you usually do die every time you do bash in unless you have rally as a backup, but that's not generally a great move
Yeah,
to bash
it
in then rally.
depends. It depends. So like there, if you
Yeah.
knew I think they use Cole. I'm not sure. I think they use Cole and Zenold. If you know they don't have Cole, you could just stick to main and use Raleigh to win the fight. I don't think that the play
Yeah.
on Ash was bad, but I think it would have been a safer play to just sit on main and use Raleigh to win the fight.
Yeah.
I like the proactivity though. You could go into Vax and you could practice strafing and shooting, like placing a crosshair at head level with Kiri.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think it's Seda. Seda is 1v1, no? Never mind.
This
Never
is
mind. Never mind.
Vax.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because I played Vaxter last, I believe. Sata,
I thought Seda was the
I think it's
1v1
the
already.
aerial one.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take Kiri. Yep. Choose a target, place your crosshair at high level, at head level, and start strafing. Stick to one target. Stick to one target. That's better. That's good. That's good. You have to slow down your shots and use your movement mostly for to aim it. This could be a drill for you to warm up until you get comfortable with this type of aim.
Nice.
Good job. When they're way off your screen center, you can 100% use your mouse to like. You just need to get your crosshair around your head and use your movement
Yeah.
to adjust it.
and
Good skin, by the way. Now, if you feel comfortable doing this, you could try doing this in that match.
All right.
If you want to keep practicing here, that's okay. It's your choice.
See if anyone's in deathmatch. Half the time there isn't in OCE.
Half the time. Oh, really? Oh, damn.
Yeah. Uh, Go back to once it loads. Yeah, because I think there's only certain times of the day where deathmatch has anyone in there.
I see. For EU, there usually are people in deathmatch lobbies, but they're playing tanks for some other reason.
Yeah, I guess tanks don't feel too well to go against, but I guess it helps you sort of play, I guess, further back or work around them, trying to keep distance from them.
Mm. Do you think you'd screen share your window instead of screen? Because I do hear myself speaking on your stream.
Uh,
You can go to
I
bottom left and you
think
could
I
choose change window.
where
Bottom left of Discord, change window.
it's still not showing up.
Overwatch is not showing up.
Overwatch. Yeah,
Interesting. Well, then I will just keep
it's
stream muted in that case.
yeah, it's the first time I've come across that problem. Because usually it works fine, but
Of course, once we want to actually get in a match, the queues are 7 minutes long.
yeah.
Is this your average queue time?
Uh, it's usually a bit quicker, but then because it's probably late at night, it's a little bit longer.
I feel like there should be more people playing at late night in late night during late night.
Yeah. Unless there's just because there has been a lot more people playing support lately too.
Mm. Is it the 31st of December for you right now?
I think yeah, it is still the 31st for at
Interesting.
least another
Yeah.
hour or
I'm
so.
gonna celebrate New Year's 1 hour in 1 hour. Like 10 hours earlier than I should normally do. Can pop a beer on Discord and say Happy New Year's. There we go, finally.
Oh, there.
Okay, let's focus on unlocking Curie.
Yeah, because I think I took too long trying to
Mm,
pick Kiri to try and get it streaming before.
yeah, my bad. Nice.
Ah, there. Happen to be on it.
All right, so we can already start thinking about how would you would like to roll out on this map. You could anticipate Widowmaker playing on either top left on the silo or on the right side, far back, right? So how would you like to
Yeah.
roll out on this map? You have a ball, so you don't really
I,
need to worry about healing your tank. He's gonna do his own
yeah.
thing, right? So you could focus on helping your tracer hold flanks or take flanks. How would you like to roll out
Yeah.
here?
I think on the right hand side, because you can use the building to get over, but
If
that
there's a widow, that's
might
gonna
be a
be
bit long.
difficult because of the
Yeah.
long pathway. You could try going left and climbing above the fence, right?
Yeah.
And then pushing on the left side of the building, shooting them in the side. Press tab for me
Is
again.
that
Okay, we have a Nana and a Genji.
cool?
Let's go left side. Let's take our angle.
Yeah. It sounds like they got a ball. Ah,
You can't help that guy. It's okay.
did again. There's a there. Right.
Your ball is going in, so it's fine to go in now.
Right. Yep. Fine. Ugh.
Your
Uh,
tank died there, so you should probably chill a bit. This is also the second time that our Ana dies to the ball, so if you think it's appropriate, you could try to peel the ball away and then take your flank.
so
So, like for example, now he's not gonna be around for like 10 seconds, and you can take your flank. Guess he doesn't have shields, right? Where would you like to go for a solo flank?
uh, right
Yeah,
side
I think that's
here.
good. That's okay. That's okay.
Uh,
That's okay. The ball is still not gonna be able to go in for 2 seconds.
might try and.
Good try.
Come on.
Okay, the ball's gonna be out. We can look to take our angle now.
Yeah, I don't want to be there. Yeah.
Force his shields, and then nice. Now he's out. Now you can go do your thing. You look for a fox on main if you wanted to.
Uh, uh, yeah, I was probably going to die there.
Your stream died, by the way.
I
I can't
did.
see your game
Mm,
anymore. You might have to restart it. Can you try to restart stream when you are in spawn or something? Did I lose you? Did you die? I think you died. That's unlucky.